Oh, yeah. Five-star. LSU. I said, they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up, hey. Back and back it on up, hey. Back and back it on up, hey. Back and back it on up, hey.
TA, we live. Back with another great show for you right here in the Tigers Avenue. What's up, everybody? We're looking forward to it. We got stuff to talk about, stuff to address, stuff to slap across the face. Some of you might get that one. Zach, we got a great show for these folks. What are we talking about first here?
Man, we've got to go ahead and get into this baseball team. Holy cow. What a weekend. After Wednesday night was absolutely brutal. And after Friday night was brutal. What a turnaround. I mean, I didn't expect it. I got to be honest. I don't know what switch was flipped. I don't know if there was a team meeting, a players-only meeting, or a team meeting with Jay Johnson and the coaches. But whatever they did, it worked. You know, they flipped the lineup a little bit. You know, you saw K. Doty move over to shortstop, which, you know, you had been harping on moving him over either at third base or at short. And so they moved K. Doty over. They moved Thompson over to second, Barry at third, DiGiacomo in right. You bring back Joe Barron at the DH, and they dominated. And the games weren't even close. And the pitching was phenomenal.
Yes,
Mikhail
indeed.
Hilliard comes out and has a fantastic start. After he's been a little inconsistent, but he had a fantastic start on Saturday and got the job done, got a lot of Ks. Then you bring in Sam Dutton and Grant Taylor. I thought Grant Taylor potentially was going to get the start on Sunday, but they hand the ball to Sam Dutton. Sam Dutton does a really good job, limits the damage, doesn't really give up anything. He had 1 K, but then Grant Taylor came in. He had 6 Ks. And, wow, what a fantastic job by him and this pitching staff that came out of the bullpen. I was very impressed. And you saw the edit. If y'all were in here and y'all saw the edit before we came on live, Braden Joe Baum. Braden Joe Bear is back, baby. I don't know what happened to him either, but, you know, he was struggling a lot lately. And then these last 2 games decided to explode back onto the scene. And it was really encouraging. Now, here's my thing, Reagan. I want to see it continue. You know,
Absolutely.
it's baseball, and sometimes, you know, players feed off each other on the field, hitting wise, and maybe we saw some of that this weekend. But I hope this is something that continues. Cody fired it in there. Jay said they did have a meeting. Awesome, because they needed it.
Love it.
It had been very rough and hard viewership for LSU fans for the last week. You know, they got the win against Texas A&M, but you dropped the series. You lose a heartbreaker to Louisiana Tech. You get beat pretty straight up in the opening game against Florida. But Brady Joe Boo, I like it. I like it. So awesome job by the Tigers to be able to bounce back from a tough stretch, but I want to see if it can continue.
Absolutely. Consistency will be something to watch for as we go forward. Now, I mean, this is a major win, series win. I mean, you just went into Gainesville and pulled off this series victory. And we were looking at the schedule at the beginning of the season, like, man, this is a tough draw. Man, you got to go to Gainesville, you got to go to Starkville, you got to go to Fayetteville, right? I mean, for us to go in there and snag 2 and walk out like this, considering how it was incredible. I mean, that was incredible. I mean, like you said, it was like a complete 180. I don't know what they said in the meeting. According to Cody, like you said, there was there was a meeting of some sort, whether that was players, coaches, whatever it was. Whatever was said in that meeting, something changed. I mean, you went from miserable Wednesday night, miserable Friday night. It was dead as a doornail. And then you come to Saturday and there's energy. You're hearing all kinds of stuff coming out of the dugout. I mean, you're hearing chanting and talking and cheering and like the whole game. And you have not seen that all year long. You have not seen chatter. You have not seen any kind of excitement like you did on Saturday and Sunday in those final 2 games. I mean, it was really, really refreshing to see the energy in the team. And it seemed like they fed off of it in the actual game. Braden Jobert gets 3 home runs in 2 games. Travinsky gets 2 home runs, which, by the way, I'm totally okay with Travinsky playing at catcher until Milazzo gets healthy. I mean, if he's going to keep batting pretty well, his defense seems to be a little bit more solid than McManus has been. So I'm like, I'm okay with not McManus, Travinsky behind the plate there. And
yeah,
I
think a lot of guys got potentially some extra playing time after their performances this weekend. I mean, they went out there and performed and made a statement to potentially get more playing time.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. I really, like you mentioned, I love the move of K. Doty. K. Doty only had 8 errors all last season at third base. Which I was saying, hey, we've had a revolving door at third base, move him to third base, right? And that's what I had been saying. Now I'm okay with the shortstop as well. I mean, it's not as hard of a throw. And Cade, I mean, right now is our best infielder when it comes to second, third, short. I believe Trey Morgan is our best infielder. But when it comes to those positions that are fielding those ground balls and throwing them to Trey, Cade's your best guy. So put him at shortstop. And I mean, this may be so I may get some flack about this, but I think K. Doty has played the best baseball anybody on the entire team this season. His bat,
I can't disagree.
his defense. The only other guy that I think would be up there with him is Dylan Cruz, because Dylan Cruz has hit consistently. Defense been very shaky in center, but I feel like Cruz has hit well, but Doty has had more timely hits and a lot more clutch hits and a lot more hits when it really, really, really mattered. So
yes,
I feel like K. Doty has had the best season so far of our lineup. So why not put him at shortstop? I mean, he's been your best infielder so far. I mean, you've seen balls booted around at third base all year long between the people they've put out there. Of course, you've seen the struggles that Thompson has had. And Cade, I mean, at the beginning of the season, he had a hard time a little bit turning the double play at second base, but I think that's because he was not used to playing second base. I think Jordan Thompson will do just fine. Jay Johnson made the statement that the move was to slow the game down for Jordan Thompson. It had been coming at him really fast, and they needed to slow the game down for him. And I love the move. I think it was the right move. Now, Zach, we're getting some feedback. Not sure what that is, but I love that move. But these 2 games could be the start of what we expected out of this team. I mean, Saturday, Sunday is what we thought this team could do. I mean, they hit the ball and they hit the ball timely. They hit the ball with runners in scoring position. I mean, they mashed the ball. They scored 27 runs off of 25 hits in 2 games. And
they took advantage of the opponent's mistakes.
Absolutely. They took advantage of every opportunity, and they put the nail in the coffin early, and they did not. And the pitching was there with it. Holy cow, Paul Travis is incredible out of the bullpen. Did absolutely phenomenal. Mike had a great game. Now, Mikel had the one bad inning, but then Paul came in after, they pulled him, and they took care of business, man. And when you're scoring 16 runs a game, it's okay to have a one bad crooked number inning when you're pitching the way you are and you're batting the way you are. It was like, okay, we got the 9-run lead. It's 9-0. Oh shoot, now it's 4. It's 9-4. And they here we go. We got to get into the bullpen. What are we going to do? And then Paul Travis comes in and closes the door, and then you go and seal the game with another 7-run inning. I mean, absolutely awesome. It was fantastic. And Saturday carried over into Sunday, and it was the same thing. 2 breakout innings. And boy, I loved the chippiness that started happening. I loved seeing the Florida players get irritated that we were celebrating our home runs. And man,
on their home field.
Bro, we have got to talk about the hit batters. We are
Cody
number
mentioned
2 in the country with hit by pitch with 61. The ball also matched their bodies as well. Yes. And that was the one thing they took advantage of. I mean, I can't remember exactly who it was, but a batter got hit. I think it was Dugas. And then Joe Bear comes up, home run, right?
Yep.
You're going to hit us? Here's a home run. How about that? And that's when it started getting a little chippy. And Joe Bear came around and stomped home plate, and the catcher had a few words for him. And then Joe Bear turned around and had a few words for him too. And then our entire dugout was out there, ready to meet Joe Bear there. And then they saw the chippiness, chirpiness, and you saw the whole crew, barking over to the other dugout. And I loved it. I loved every single minute of it. And then they get an out, but then you peg Jordan Thompson. Okay, you're going to hit us again? Here comes Stravinsky with an absolute line shot out to left field. Like, if you're going to keep hitting us, we're going to keep making you pay for it. I loved it. It was absolutely awesome. And after all the chippiness, oh my goodness, Stravinsky dropped the bat and had a little stroll halfway down first base and had to watch it go out. Absolutely incredible. It was so
they got
much
their
fun.
Swagger back.
It was, yes, they had swagger, and it was a blast. That is the LSU baseball we want to see. Wednesday and Friday was boring. It was miserable to watch. Saturday and Sunday was thrilling, exciting, and exactly what we want to see out of LSU baseball, and exactly what we expected from this team with the high expectations of the offense. It was awesome.
Well,
but we wanted to continue.
Some big things that they corrected this weekend, and that we hope continues. That was one of the things I mentioned on Blake's show. It's baseball. You can get hot. You can feed off other guys' energy on the.
All right, guys, we may have lost Zach there for a second. All y'all are commenting and stuff. I want to get to some of y'all's comments. Bobby, if you would throw a few comments up there. Maybe I just need to stop watching. I didn't watch Saturday and Sunday. I was at my son's games. Look, we had a wedding on Saturday, and of course I had to preach on Sunday, and it was a busy weekend. And after Wednesday night and the way it did Friday, I didn't start watching until I saw what the scores were. So I'm right there with you. I mean, I was like, I could care less to watch. And then I saw it, and I was like, man, I got to get on here. If that would have been old LSU team, someone would have got Smith slapped. That's true. It's true. Now, I don't know if y'all saw of course, the memes are going rampant over the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith thing. Blake Ruffino had his edit of the LSU head on Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, the Florida edit. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And that's exactly what LSU did this weekend after the embarrassing loss on Friday night. Get some more comments up in there, Zach, and we'll discuss some of them. Buckets and Boy Band, my favorite combo show. Let's go. That was phenomenal baseball, finally. Absolutely. And I think it came at a good time because now you play UL Monroe, a very winnable game in your midweek, and Auburn at LSU, which is also a very winnable series. But they played A&M very close this past weekend. That was a good series. So we'll see how it goes this weekend.
The Golden Blue Pod said, no legs tonight, please.
I don't know if I can lift my leg up that high for this time. So
Zach needs an updated AOL disc. Please. Start a GoFundMe. I need it. I hate it. Cody, I told Zach, think Sam and Taylor are going to compete for the Sunday spot the next couple of Sundays. So before I cut out, 4 things you improved on. One of those things was pitching. You improved at pitching. Paul Gervais, you've already mentioned him. Sam Dutton. Grant Taylor had a great performance. I already mentioned that, but pitching was better this weekend. You didn't boot the ball around as much as you have been. You were able to limit the errors. You had a better approaches at the plate and were able to have timely hitting, and you're able to execute on when the opponents made mistakes. The other thing is you kept the foot on the gas. You did not let up. We've seen this LSU baseball team let up before this season. Mm-hmm. Either they got a lead and allowed another team to come back into it, or they were down, caught back up, and then slowed back down. And so 4 things that you majorly improved on this weekend that I want to see continue. But we hope it does continue. Let's get to some more comments. Cody, interested to see how Fontenot does tomorrow as a starter. I am as well. One of the things that I mentioned about Fontenot on Blake's show, he was one of the guys that was kind of in the running to potentially be a weekend rotation guy, and he didn't get it. They've brought him in relief. He's looked inconsistent like Fontenot has at times. So how is he going to look in this midweek role as a starter? I'm excited to see how he does tomorrow night.
I really like the comment you had hit on earlier. I love the Sammy Dutton Taylor thing there. I don't care who starts. I don't. I mean, you can start Grant Taylor, bring Dutton in. You can start Sammy Dutton and bring Taylor in. Either way, I don't care. As for Hilliard, this was the turning point he needed. I expect him to become a threat on the mound the rest of the season. I mean, yeah, we saw this out of him. I mean, last year this was what McHale looked like. Now he got punched a little bit in that one inning where they hung a 4 on him, and that's okay. You had a major lead. You had a 9-0 lead. That's okay. I mean, you obviously don't want that to happen all the time, but when your offense is giving you some help, you can have some flexibility. Like in the Sunday game, you had an 11-0 run. You're throwing nothing but strikes. You're putting the ball across the plate. And Grant Taylor just put the ball across the plate. They hit a few. It wasn't like he was missing his spot, walking guys, committing errors in that one inning. They hit the ball. And we got a few outs. They got a few runs. You limited the damage. It was 11-2. If your offense is rolling like that, your pitchers can relax more. And that's a big thing that that we maybe haven't seen as much as we haven't jumped out on people. We haven't established that lead. So with a lead like that, your pitchers can relax a little bit. And also, whenever it's not so tight, your batters can relax in the box a little bit. And that's maybe why you're seeing better approaches at the plate, better at-bats because they're more relaxed. One more comment here or 2 more comments here, and then we'll move forward to the next point. Are y'all going to be at Duty Noble Field in 2 weeks? Probably not. I don't know if Zach will or not, but I don't plan on going to that. series. I would like to, but I'm not sure if I can.
We are coming to a series in Baton Rouge late April.
Probably so. Yep, for sure. Let's get that one there with Cody. I think Travinsky also gets the nod going forward until Milazzo. I agree. We hit on that a little bit earlier. The defense is a little bit more solid than McManus, which I think McManus had kind of straightened out a little bit. He kind of pulled it together a little bit, but he's still a little shaky at times. Travinsky seems a little bit more solid, especially receiving the ball. It drives me nuts watching pitches get dropped. He seems to receive the ball a little bit better, and man, I mean, he cranked those two hits he hit out. So why not? All right, let's move forward here to our next point. Let's hit on some spring football. A little spring football update coming for you. Zach, what do you have for us on spring football?
Well, I've really liked what I've seen. Some footage that's been released on YouTube. They are really spreading things out. They're running an up pace offense, a tempo offense where they are getting to the ball, the plays getting put in, and they're running it, and they're running it quick. You've seen guys at the one. A lot of times it's been Jaden Daniels, John Emery, Besh has been there at wide receiver. So a lot of very interesting things. One of the things that I mentioned on Blake's show is a sleeper that I kind of have for this upcoming season is Kyron Lacey. He wears number 16, and he's been in there in a lot of reps. You've seen Kyron Lacey run with some of the ones, and so that's very interesting to see. How does he fit into this offense? You know what's also been very interesting? You've seen a lot of Cole Taylor. You've seen a lot of Cole Taylor. They've been running some RPOs with him, some little quick out routes to him. And so that's been very interesting to me. And I just love to see that they're getting the tight ends involved. This potentially probably won't be, a 2 tight end type set offense. I think they're going to spread it out as we've talked about before. I know a lot of people have mentioned, Brian Kelly, Mike Denbrock going to 2 tight end sets. I don't really think they have the personnel for that right now. And you've seen them really spread it out in practice. I'm just really excited to really get to fall because I wonder who else they're going to bring in, a lot on the offense, on the defensive side. They're still recruiting some guys. So I'm really excited to see who else they bring in. And a comment that Justin Broussard made, y'all coming to the series against Mizzou this weekend of the spring game. I'm planning on it, Reagan. And I think Reagan probably wants to be there as well. It's very, very likely, Justin, that we will be there during the Missouri series and to see the spring game. We're very excited, obviously with BK coming in, taking things over. We want to see what this team looks like in person with our own eyes on the field playing a game. And so it is very, very highly likely that we will be there for the spring game. What have you seen, Reagan, that you've liked so far in spring?
Yeah, I think the number one thing with the spring so far, I mean, you heard it everywhere: accountability, accountability, accountability.
Yeah,
Brian Kelly is establishing a culture at LSU that has been dismantled, that has been intoxicated with bad habits and just disorganization. And you love to hear the players say accountability, accountability, right? I mean, simple things like being on time, being there for your meetings, being on time for practice, being ready to roll. I mean, it's really pleasing to hear that when you have seen what this program has been the last 2 years. I've really enjoyed to hear the players' interviews and hear them stress that a lot. I think that's huge, considering where we have been. I mean, we were hearing nothing but, this team's going to have academic problems. We're going to be seeing some people academically ineligible for the bowl game. We're going to, there's people going to be transferring out because of this, that, and the other, right? And it just was horrible. I mean, it was bad for 2 years. It was just bad. There was no responsibility. There was no structure. There was no accountability on the team. And now you're hearing a lot of it, and you love to hear it. Pop Cody's comment up there one more time, if you would. I just liked how big and in shape Emery looks and how well he's been catching the ball. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Great.
I wanted you to pop that comment up because I wanted to hit on John Emery. John Emery looks really, really stinking good. I have been really excited about seeing him. Look, Noah Kane supposedly is not going to be getting there until the summertime, so you won't see him in the spring practices and whatnot. But man, John Emery looked like he's ready to roll. I mean, for him to deal with the injury 2 years ago, and then obviously whatever in the world happened with his academics last year, kept him out the entire season, which was frustrating, and it was so irritating that we found out day of UCLA he was ineligible, and then he was out the entire season. Absolutely irritating. I am thrilled to see him because you just haven't seen John Emery. I feel like as much as I've wanted to see John Emery, you know, he had such high expectation coming in. Of course, he came in the year of the championship, and he was the number one running back in the country, man. And there was high expectations for him. And of course, in 2019, you know, he was overshadowed a little bit by Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Ty Davis Price. So I mean, it wasn't his year in 2019, and in 2020 you had the injury and Ty Davis Price kind of took over, and then 2021 this season, of course, the thing with the academics, and so you haven't got it yet. You haven't got what you wanted out of John Emery yet, and I think we're going to see it this year, and I'm super pumped about it. With it looks like from the film, you ain't seen one time. At least I haven't, Zach. You may have. I ain't seen anybody under center. I ain't seen nobody under center.
I have not yet. No.
It looks like there's going to be a bunch of RPO run with all of these quarterbacks, which you love to see, and it's specifically you love to see that with Jaden Daniels, who's a mobile quarterback, which that competition continues to move forward. I still like Jaden Daniels, but it looks like based on what Miles Brennan has been saying, he's up for the challenge, man. He's looking forward to the competition, and he's been here and he's been in competition before, and so he's ready to attack it. Now, we'll see how that goes by the end of spring practice. If Jaden Daniels has kind of solidified himself, maybe that competition ends at spring. Because I think Miles Brennan, with his last year of eligibility, is going to want to play, right? I mean, if Jaden Daniels is QB1, why in the world would Miles Brennan stay? I mean, let's just think with common sense here, right?
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think the competition is going to be here in spring, and whoever comes out in spring will determine whether Miles Brennan is still here or not. Let's get to that comment there. Apparently, even stay right there on that. Go back to that Cody comment. Apparently, even Kelly pulled two of the student managers to the side after an RB drop, maybe, and gave them drill. Okay, and gave them instructions on what to do better next time. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I mean, again, accountability on, and this is not just with the players. That's what you've been hearing with the players. It seems like this is a theme across the entire staff, the entire team, everybody involved with LSU football. Accountability, and you love it. You got to love to see it. I got to agree with you, Zach. I've been seeing a lot of stuff and clips with Cole Taylor. I've seen some stuff with Jack Besh a lot. I haven't seen much of the defense yet. I need to get in there and look at some more because I haven't seen much. You did see the other day that Garrett Nussmeier was in, and you saw the new transfer from Arkansas. Greg Brooks got a pick off of Nussmeier. So it's great to see those transfers already working and already getting involved. So that's exciting. I think we hit on this a little bit as well, but from a defensive side, man, I'm excited about Quincy Wiggins. Dude looks like a stud. Throw up Polk Army's comment. They're hearing this defensive line for LSU is good, but all 4 of them played against Kansas State, and they ran the ball for over 300 yards. I'm confused. I'm not sure if that's quite true because some of them weren't there. If I remember correctly. And you also had linebackers in during that game who had not played all season as well. So we cannot get hung up on the Kansas State game and what that was. That I don't know who y'all's opinion on this or your opinion on this, but I just feel like LSU. I don't know. I feel like that almost hurt LSU by playing that game. I don't think there was any reason. Texas A&M was short players and was low on players and decided to opt out of their game. I feel like that would have been better for LSU than rather than going out there and being embarrassed. Now, people, say, they had pride. They went out there, they fought hard, and I commend them for that. But I don't know. I just feel like the Kansas State game is a complete screw because it seriously meant absolutely nothing. Right. Rob there says you can't go off the K-State game. Exactly.
Well, I mean, we have to realize that this is a completely different staff.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be running different schemes this season. Like, the football team is talented. A lot of the reasons that you don't see a lot of the staff, basically all of the staff from last season and the 2 seasons prior under Ed Orgeron is because we weren't seeing on the field what LSU's potential was talent-wise. And so now you bring in a whole new staff, and what is it going to look like with this talent? Because LSU has a very talented roster top to bottom. Now, there's a lot of question marks. There's guys that are talented, but you got to see them play, and you got to see them, field a team. How is that going to look under this new Brian Kelly staff, under this new Brian Kelly program? We'll see.
Absolutely. Throw Cody's thing up there. Pig Cage apparently has been sticking everyone. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the clip of him hitting that pad and knocking the player over. I mean, Pig Cage was sticking folks in the Kansas State game, which we know that game was what it was. But Pig Cage played with a lot of energy in that game, and he had 2 sacks in that game, and you loved his energy. Maybe a little mini Tyrann Mathieu coming up from Pig Cage there. All right, let's move. Well, actually, let's not move forward. Let's take a quick break. We will hit our advertisements, and then we will move into our final segment here. I think we're going to hit a little bit on basketball, and then we got a new segment for you this Monday, and we'll get on that when we get back from our break. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all on Tigers Avenue for regular updates about our show, when the show is going live, and all things LSU sports. If you're on YouTube, please click off, hit that subscribe button. Also at Tigers Avenue. We stream all of our shows live on YouTube as well as post them afterwards. If you don't have YouTube, we also stream it on Twitter and Facebook as well. 5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Check out all his music on all the major platforms. Go follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem, on Twitter at One Nation Doty, and make sure you check out his Facebook page for his merchandise, his Saints merchandise, his LSU merchandise. 5-Star Hero. They ain't ready for that LSU. Sarah Klein Stephen, attorney at law, our wonderful aunt. We appreciate her continued support of the show. Her law firm likes to focus on the elderly's needs and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
Guys, we want to encourage you to go and check out our website at tigersavenue.podbean.com. You can find the playlist to our YouTube as well as all of our latest episodes on the front page. If you go to the pages link, you can find 5-Star Heroes merch and all of his beats that are available on Apple Music and Spotify. If you go to our sponsors, you can see all of the sponsors that support Tigers Avenue and check out all of their info. If you check out the Tiger Times page, you can go and see all of our games that we've attended at Alex Box Stadium, Tiger Stadium, and the PMAC through the years. And if you click on the support page, you can go and find the QR codes for our Cash App and our PayPal to support Tigers Avenue. Again, all of this you can find at tigersavenue.podbean.com.
Yes, sir. Final segment of the day. We got a special one for you. New segment. But before we get to it, we got a little bit of basketball news. We want to hit a little bit on the basketball news. Zach, we've seen an additional staff member hired this week. We've seen a player commit to LSU today in the transfer portal out of Northwestern State, Mr. Kendall Coleman. And we've also seen Murray State players, Justice Hill, as well as KJ Williams, their leading scorer, hit the portal as well. Also, some Tigers have also entered their name in as well. Zach, tell me about what you've seen from the Tigers who have entered the portal so far and what you think about the Topert hire from Memphis.
Well, I like it. If Mike McMahon trusts in Topert and trust him to add him onto the staff, we got to trust that. Now, as far as the portal goes for basketball, you've seen KJ Williams enter the transfer portal. Thank you, Al Landry, as soon as I say it. And you've seen Hill enter the transfer portal from Murray State. Obviously, we pick up Kendall Coleman, which is a really big get. I know it's out of Northwestern State, but go look at the dude's stats. The dude is putting up some stats from this past season. And so he goes and he picks up that. I have to think that you are probably going to get at least one, maybe potentially two guys from Murray State, and we're very early in this process. I mean, we just brought on McMahon. So he's going to continue to recruit. He's going to continue to monitor the transfer portal and expect to see more guys added. He's going to continue to try and re-recruit this roster that they have right now and the guys that have entered the transfer portal for LSU, like Xavier Pinson, like Brandon Murray. Sharif O'Neal just recently entered. I think he deleted the comment or something like that, or the tweet or whatever he posted it, but expect him to enter the transfer portal. So there's a lot going right now. It's easy for LSU fans to get disappointed and upset because of everything that's happening with basketball. But let's look at the positive. McMahon is going out there. He's recruiting guys. He's going to continue to recruit guys. And so I'm excited to see what happens with this basketball team moving forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cody, I love the comment there. Topert is going to be in charge of getting the 5-star guys while McMahon looks for the hidden talent like Kendall Coleman. Look, Topert is a great hire from a recruiting standpoint. Cody, you're absolutely right. He has done a fantastic job recruiting for Memphis Tigers. I mean, we've seen a lot of big-time names go into Memphis in recent years. And so, yeah, I think he was an excellent hire. When it comes to Kendall Coleman, that dude averaged a double-double last year. 15 points a game, 10 rebounds a game. He was first team all Southland Conference, and he was first team defense Southland Conference. So a great pickup by Mr. Matt McMahon, who no doubt is going to have to hit the transfer portal this year to fill this roster out. No doubt. So I like the first addition there. 15-10 average for the season is no joke. I don't care where you're playing at. That is not an easy thing to do. Almost got 20 boards on us in December. Right. Correct. I do remember that actually. So that's a great point, Cody. So I think you're getting an awesome player in Kendall Coleman. KJ Williams and Justice Hill are some guys to look out for, to follow Matt McMahon. KJ Williams is a big time player who was their top scorer this year.
Yeah,
I believe if I remember correctly, he averaged 15 points a game as well. It was pretty impressive. I think he's going to get some of these guys from smaller schools that want to play on the bigger stage so they can get to the NBA. Some don't care about playing for a natty; they want the money. I mean, that's true. That may be true, Rob. Some guys are playing, and I mean, no doubt, somebody from like some northwestern state, a guy like Kendall Coleman, is going to want to come play for the state school in Louisiana, LSU. Hearing it's
got to give a shout out to Justin, by the way.
Yes. Shout out to Justin. Here it's looking good for both of the Murray State guys. Justice Hill looks really good for LSU. I agree. I mean, I don't see why not.
Go follow Justin Broussard. Justin Broussard has partnered with us here at Tigers Avenue. Go follow at LSU_daily news on Twitter. Daily LSU news. If you do not follow them on Twitter, go get on your phone, follow them right now. We appreciate Justin and for everything he does here at Tigers Avenue. So go and do that.
Absolutely. Cody says Kendall is 6'8", but plays like how he wanted Efton to play all season. So he sounds like he may be a little bit like Darius Days, a guy who's going to go get you some boards. May not have the size, but he's just going to fight for them boards. So, I'm excited for what Matt McMahon is already doing at LSU. Look, Pinson's hit the portal, like Zach said, Sharif, Brandon Murray. But all of these guys, keep in mind, all of these guys, including Sharif O'Neal, have said they would still consider LSU. So we are not out on these players. They are considering their options. But LSU is still on the table. Now, I did see Pinson post today on his Instagram story some of his highlights from Missouri and said that he was considering a potential return to Missouri. So it is an interesting fact. Haven't seen much out of Brandon Murray on where he may land. Hasn't posted much or of anything, but these guys are still considering LSU, and Matt McMahon can recruit these guys and get them to come back. So we will keep you updated, and we will continue to discuss all things LSU basketball as this transition happens, as the staff starts to fill out, as players start to enter the transfer portal, players come in from the transfer portal. We will hit it all. So we've got a new segment for you.
I'm excited.
New segment for you today. Memory Monday. Favorite LSU plays. Zach, I know you said one football, but how can you just do one? I got several for you.
I'll let you start.
But
I will let you start then. But before we do that,
I was going to hand it over to you.
No, I'm going to let you start. But before we do that, hey, our viewers, this is going to be a new segment for us on Mondays. Favorite LSU plays is what we're doing today. But we want y'all to fire in the chat. What are some suggestions for Memory Monday? We're going to potentially hit on some favorite LSU players of all times, maybe the favorite season of all time. And we're not just going to do football. We're going to do football, basketball, baseball, all of these different sports. We're going to go back down memory lane and think about these types of things. Maybe it is a favorite transfer that we got. I don't know, whatever we're going to talk about, but we want y'all to fire in the chat. Tell us what you think would be a great segment to do for Memory Monday. And we, of course, are going to get y'all involved each Memory Monday. We won't do this every single Monday because there's only so much to go around. And some days we might have a lot to cover on a Monday, but we want y'all to fire in the chat right now and we will get to them. Your favorite LSU plays. It could be football. It could be basketball. It could be baseball. I'm going to share one for all three sports tonight, but we want to see your comments. So go ahead, Reagan, lead us off. We're also going to bring in Bobby here. So Bobby, let's go ahead and bring you in. Our guy in the background There he is. There he is. So
What's
we'll get his take on it. But let's go ahead and let's get it going. Reagan,
Yes, sir.
kick us off.
Yes, sir. So I got several for football. I'm going to hit you with some football, basketball, and baseball, but I got several for football. My all-time favorites. Number one, and this is not in order of how much I like them. This is maybe not even chronological. End of the Miles era. Boy, you right. Matt M. to Skylar J. Ugga. Game 03. I was there. That's awesome. All right, let me hit you with some of mine. Matt Flynn, 07, in the corner of the end zone to beat Auburn. To Ruben Randall. Whoo! You could have kicked the field goal, but old Mad Hatter had different plans. It paid off. But that was an incredible moment. Colt David on the fake field goal. Matt Flynn with the pitch back against South Carolina. That was an awesomely executed play, and it fell just right into his hands, and he ran it in for the end zone. And that was one of the coolest plays I think I've ever seen an LSU kicker make. Now, to follow that up, the Josh Jasper fake field goal against Florida,
where
they ran the same play when it bounced into his hands.
Wow.
And he ran it for the first down with like 30 seconds left in the game. It was 29-26. And you had to hit the field goal to send it overtime. Old Mad Hatter had different plans. He pitched it back, bounced, had to be reviewed to see if it was a forward pass or not. It was as close as it gets. How in the world that ball perfectly bounced and came up to Josh Jasper, I will never know, but I'm so glad it did. And then the very next play, Terrence Tolliver takes a pass from Jarrett Lee all the way down to the goal line.
Route.
And they hit him on the second play at the goal line with the fade route to get the dub. Man. Another one, the Jarvis Landry one-handed catch, twisting in the middle of the air against Arkansas.
Like grabbing,
what an incredible catch
underneath them, like they dove together. And
incredible catch. Man said, "Bring it down, youth pastor." Yeah. I know youth pastor.
LaRon, that's a good one.
Woo. All right, I got two more football. Two more.
All right, go for it. Man, you got a lot of football.
2019.
Good grief.
3rd and 17 against Texas. Whoo! Whoo! And Joe hit him with the princess wave. And then finally, and there's many more I could have named, but these were the ones I had to narrow it down to. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 4-touchdown night in Tuscaloosa to beat the Tide and snap the 8-year losing streak to Alabama. It was fantastic. It was incredible, and it was so sweet. Said Tigers chapter 3, verse 17. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the man that night. Thus saith the Lord. Zach, hit us with your football memories.
Okay, so I've got one, but I'll tell you my runner-ups. Okay, so my absolute all-time favorite LSU football play of all time is when Chad Jones in 2009 in the Nike Pro Combat uniforms, white jersey, white pants, gold helmet, not the yellow gold. I'm talking about gold. Decapitated Alex Adams. So much so that he shook himself up. The most brutal, vicious hit I have probably ever seen. Now, I'm young. I'm only 25 almost. But Good grief. What a hit. And man, fantastic. I mean, I could just watch that on replay over and over and over again. Awesome. Now, some runner-ups, okay? In 2011, LSU started the season against Oregon, and Tyrann Mathieu strips the ball on a punt return, which I had really never seen, I don't think, in my lifetime at that point of watching LSU sports. Stripped the Oregon punt returner. It bounces. He turns around. It's right there. He grabs the football, walks into the end zone, and it was
Absolutely
at that moment that I knew that I didn't know at that moment that they're going to go to Natty, but it was at that moment that I knew this team's really good. This team's really good.
Yeah.
If they're pulling off plays like that, this team is really good. Another runner-up for my football is 2015. I could be wrong. It might be 2016.
Yes.
When Leonard Fournette took it to the house against Auburn, truck stick the dude, and then another dude is hanging on his back while he carries him to the end zone. I mean, that was prime Leonard Fournette. And it was just a symphony. It was beautiful.
You've also got the Ole Miss kid that I think they're still trying to dig out of the turf. That Fournette put in the ground. Yeah, you know.
Yes, very true. I forgot about that one as well.
We may have lost Zach there, but man, lots of great memories. I mean, there's so many things we can talk about. Let's get some of these comments in here that I know you've been throwing them up, Bobby. But let's get some of them so I can address them. Brad Wings should have been bro. Yes, it should have. The fact that they called that back for him holding his arms out like that was absolutely ridiculous. That was the most savage thing I've ever seen. I don't even know if it was a designed fake punt. It looked like he had just saw a lane and took off. But that was fantastic. Keith Hornsby, buzzer beater against Arkansas. Absolutely awesome. That was actually Zach's basketball favorite memory. But yes,
it was. I'm sorry, y'all. I cut out again. Oh well, it is what it is. But yes, Cody, that was definitely my most favorite memory. But another one was when Tremont hit the game-winning three in the NCAA tournament. I think it was to beat Maryland. Is that correct? And advance.
The layup.
The layup. I'm sorry. He hit the layup and advanced to Sweet 16. That's when you knew LSU basketball things had been kind of turned around. Now, baseball, it's pretty easy. Todd Peterson, SEC tournament champion, not the championship, but the SEC tournament. I hit bombs in high school, coach. Like, dude comes up, he's a pitcher. You're not expecting anything. I'm gonna have to go back and figure out. Now, if y'all know, fired in the comment, I'm gonna have to go back and figure out why in the world he was up to bat. I think it was to preserve him and keep him on the mound so that he could come back out. I'm pretty sure that was the reason. I don't know how that works though, because he's a pitcher. Why can't you just leave him out there? Like, he's not in the lineup anyways. I can't remember how that worked out. Todd Peterson comes up. He takes strike one. He takes strike two. And then he just smashes it. Smashes it. And he almost hit that dang thing out. It bounces off the wall. It's a stand-up double. And dude's just having the time of his life. So those time of my life. It's either that or it's now y'all forgive me. I can't remember when this was, but Alex Bregman with the 360 turnaround throw to first. Oh man,
very clean,
beautiful.
Bro, put Peyton McNeese's comment back up there. How dare you bring that up, Peyton? How dare you? Peyton, this is a good memory.
That's gonna be like our worst segments, but I have to. But aside from it being a bad memory, what an interception! What a great play!
It was a pick.
So Peyton, we get you. We understand it's a bad memory for LSU fans, but when you just look at the play, what a play!
A pick, and we should beat Alabama.
Honey Badger punt return versus Arkansas. That was also a great play.
my basketball favorite moments
Chris
in recent history was beating number 5 Tennessee in the PMAC with cocky Grant Williams that I could not stand at all. It made me so happy to watch them lose. And also when Skylar Mays absolutely yammed on the Memphis player's hand that night. That was absolutely incredible. I mean, he just went up and yammed it on his head. Put that man on a poster. It was awesome. It really was. Baseball, my most favorite moment, probably best play, Jared Foster, bottom of the ninth, Texas A&M, runners in scoring position, 2
What
outs.
a play.
Makes
What an athlete.
the greatest catch in the outfield I have ever
That was one of my
seen.
runners up for sure.
Saving the game for LSU, who I believe went on to win that game. Absolutely incredible catch.
Wow.
Incredible. See, Chad Jones versus Alabama strip sack versus John Parker Wilson. Absolutely, I agree. Let's see, Cody, but in all seriousness, top 3 has to be 2016 bowl game against LJ. And that
Shut down the Heisman winner.
Off, no doubt. How many times did they sack that man? Like 8 times?
A lot. Yeah, I think it was 8.
Like 8
that's
times they sacked that man. Oh, Peyton, I was just about to mention that. The incredible comeback against Peyton. Arkansas, the Rally Possum. Why are we still not wearing Possum T-shirts? I want to see the Rally Possum.
We needed them earlier this year.
I want to see the Rally Possum. I thought that would be a forever LSU staple. Why is it not? I need Rally Possum. I need some possum in my life.
It's been a few years, you know.
I know it's been a few years, but that was incredible. I mean, that was absolutely incredible.
I think AD mentioned this one. Carl Dunn fired in here. Chad Jones versus Alabama strip sack versus John Parker Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one as well. You know, that's one of the few times that we got to see LSU beat Alabama in our lifetime.
Loved it.
But great play. Sealed the game.
The Eric Reed interception, 2011 against Alabama.
Oh my gosh! When he straight up went up and just took it away from the dude.
Took the ball from him. Just took the ball from him.
Carl Dunn, I mentioned that. I mean, that's got to be an all-time.
I thought that was against TCU.
Reel. I don't know, but
I thought that was against TCU.
Either way, my cousin started a fight against Florida State. Is that true?
Al, we need to hear more about that.
For real, bro.
More about that.
Oh my!
I need to hear some more about that.
I don't know. I don't know if I think we fired this in here earlier, but I mean, you can't not. You can't not Justin Broussard. Is that Bobby?
Hey, Marco Wilson. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but Marco Wilson, the dude who threw the cleat, made a meme today out of the Will Smith smack, and it said, "Aren't you the one who threw the cleat?" CLEA. It's a picture of Will Smith smacking him. Absolutely hilarious. That was an incredible tweet. Hats off to Marco Wilson for that. Like I love that you threw the shoe and gave us new life in that game. But that was an awesome.
Appreciate it, Marco.
That was hilarious. Michael Ford winning run in OT versus Bama. Yes,
he stepped out of bounds. They had to keep the field goal. But it was close. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he did step out of bounds. If I remember correctly, and throwing back my memory, I'm pretty sure it was like he barely stepped out of bounds.
But it set it up.
Awesome.
It set it up.
It set it up. It set it up. Yes.
92, I believe. All right, guys. Memory Monday has been a blast. We love talking.
Send in your suggestions for next Monday.
Absolutely.
Send in your suggestions for next Monday. I want to see them.
We will definitely do them. And we will take your considerations, and we'll see what we can do next Monday. But you need to tune in for Friday, as it is Friends Friday, and we will have Mr. Gant
from the
Balcony Bengals joining us for Tigers Avenue on Friday. Let's hit a quick break, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tigers Avenue, for daily updates of when our shows will be and when we will be going live, and all things LSU sports. If you're on YouTube, click off and hit that subscribe button at Tigers Avenue as well. We stream all of our shows live on YouTube. If you don't have YouTube, we also stream them on Facebook and Twitter as well. 5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all of his music on all the major platforms. Go follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and Twitter at One Nation Doty. Make sure you check out his Facebook page for his Saints and LSU merchandise. 5-Star Hero. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law, our wonderful aunt who continues to support us. We appreciate her very much. Her law firm focuses specifically on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
Guys, we want to encourage you to go and check out our website at tigersavenue.podbean.com. You can find the playlist to our YouTube as well as all of our latest episodes on the front page. If you go to the pages link, you can find 5-Star Heroes merch and all of his beats that are available on Apple Music and Spotify. If you go to our sponsors, you can see all of the sponsors that support Tigers Avenue and check out all of their info. If you check out the Tiger Times page, you can go and see all of our games that we've attended at Alex Box Stadium, Tiger Stadium, and the PMAC through the years. And if you click on the support page, you can go and find the QR codes for our Cash App and our PayPal to support Tigers Avenue. Again, all of this you can find at tigersavenue.podbean.com.
All right. Guys, we appreciate your continued support, for coming in here, commenting, and interacting, especially for our Memory Monday segment. It was an awesome time. We love doing this show. We really enjoy it. Hey, look, for everybody who was not able to watch it, for all your friends who were not able to watch it, tell them to go on their preferable podcast app. We post all the shows on the podcast apps as well. Now, if they want to watch it, they can watch it on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter as well. We post all of our shows after they are live streamed. Appreciate you tuning in again. We'll catch you next time for Friends Friday with Mr. Gant from the Balcony Bengals. See ya, 5-Star Hero. Take us out. Peace.
LSU Tigers, LSU Tigers. Who that 5-star? Who that 5-star?